Oh, hey there! Yeah, I'm just enjoying one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies, Die Hard.
Chic. Ho, ho, ho.
Welcome to the party, pal!
But you know what else is a holiday classic? Home Alone.
Be a good little fella now and open the door!
Shoot!
Hello.
This movie has been a staple of my Christmas traditions for years, and it's still one of my all-time favorites. In case you haven't seen it, where have you been? Home Alone follows 8-year-old Kevin McAllister, who's accidentally left behind when his family goes on vacation. He ends up defending his house from two bumbling burglars, Harry and Marv, using nothing but his quick thinking, modified non-lethal weapons, and a series of clever traps. Now, have you ever wondered if there's a decent Home Alone game? Well, I came across one on eBay and decided to pick up the complete in-box version for the Sega Genesis. But here's the real question. Can the Sega Genesis version actually deliver a better experience than its predecessors? Before we jump into that, let me introduce myself. I'm Mike, and welcome to the Gaming Road Warrior channel, where we talk about the retro games from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Today, we're going back to 1992, so sit back, buckle up, and hit the throttle to the gaming wasteland. Now, I played the NES version before, and let me tell you, my buddy Reed and I were about as impressed as a kid with a participation trophy. Kevin moves like a sloth on sedatives. I've seen faster reactions from a rock. And the stairs, yeah, navigating them felt like trying to run a marathon in quicksand while a fat guy eats nachos on your back.
Dude, get off of me!
On top of that, Marv and Harry are faster than Jabba the Hutt and an all-you-can-eat buffet. So you're just sitting there, getting your butt kicked the whole time. Not exactly what I want in a game where you're supposed to be the one kicking butt. I've never been a fan of that game, but I've heard the Genesis version is the one to play. So let's see if it's actually good, or if I'm about to waste more of my life than I already have. First, let's see what kind of story they cooked up. Here's what the instruction manual says. Somehow, Kevin's been left home alone, and now he's all by himself in a big, empty neighborhood. A couple of burglars, Harry and Marv, have it all figured out. They'll break into each house and load up their van with loot. Only Kevin knows what they're up to, and he's got a plan for action that'll make them holler for mercy. You start out on a powered sled from a top-down view, going from house to house in the neighborhood to set up traps before the wet bandits can break in. You need to knock over snowmen to collect ammo, tires, and batteries for your sled. Then follow the crook's van to figure out where they're planning to rob. Once you step inside a house, the game shifts to a classic platformer view where you can scavenge for resources to craft weapons and traps. Wait, what? You can customize your weapons like something out of Call of Duty? But here's the catch. The weapons feel clunky, ammo depletes quickly, and some of the projectiles have a strange arc, often missing their mark entirely. The game's open-world structure gives you the freedom to roam, but it can also feel a bit too non-linear and unclear. You'll spend a lot of time aimlessly searching houses, not knowing where the bandits will strike next. On easier difficulty, their movements are fixed, which they always go to Kevin's house first, but on harder modes, they appear randomly. When you finally encounter Harry and Marv, the combat can be a real slog. Your weapons and traps are often too weak to stop them, and they're surprisingly tough to take down. The goal is to cause enough pain and delay so the wet bandits leave the house. But if they manage to loot the place, it's game over, and you won't be able to return. While it's fun to set up traps, the game doesn't always execute well, especially since you never quite know how the villains will react. Some of the more hilarious moments include a ghost, an attack cat, Buzz's tarantula, and even a robot, which can attack you. Though they also go after Harry and Marv. It's funny, but also strange. If you get caught, you're hung on a coat hanger, but you can escape. Ah yes, not quite as dark as the NES one where poor Kevin screams, "Oh no!" like it's the end of the world, and we all casually forget there's now a missing kid on a milk carton. Because nothing says family fun like a child's life potentially taking a tragic turn, right? You need to finish this game in one go since there are no passwords or a save system. Lastly, if you want the best ending, you're going to need to beat the game on Expert without losing a house. One of the interesting things about this game is the different homes have different themes, like one of the houses is futuristic. They have a robot roaming around. I mean, I don't remember seeing this in the movie. The sprites are fine on this game, and I thought they did a good job. Kevin's sprite seems a bit chubby, which we all know he's a skinny kid. I mean, growing up in that house and trying to fight for a pizza would make any kid skinny. But of course, it could be a sweater. Now, synth music in a Home Alone game, that's an odd choice. I would have loved a more cinematic tie-in to the movie's iconic score, especially during the scenes where Kevin plans his home defense. That would have been great on the Genesis. Even some upbeat Christmas music would have worked. But hey, at least the soundtrack isn't grating.
90s Game Break.
Get ready to dive into the radioactive world of Toxic Crusaders on the Sega Genesis, which was released in 1992. Based on the cult classic animated series, this action-packed beat-em-up is as wild as it sounds. Meet Toxie, a janitor turned mutant superhero after a toxic waste accident. Now it's up to him and his team of misfit Crusaders to save the world from the evil Smogulans, who are the worst polluters in the universe. They have busted through the ozone layer and are now trying to take over the Earth. As Toxie, you'll battle your way through gritty, toxic levels, because nothing says fun like getting radioactive goo all over your face while punching Smogulans in the junk, with fighter choppers, nuclear slime, and enough radiation to melt your face off. It's one toxic beatdown after another. Hope you've got more than a cleanup crew for this mess. The colorful, over-the-top visuals, coupled with catchy music, make every level an exciting and quirky experience. Plus, you can team up with friends for co-op play. Another plus for this game is that you can choose the level of difficulty and you can get to pick your anti-pollution fighter, Toxie, No Zone, or Junkyard. Ready to clean up the streets and save the day? Toxic Crusaders on Sega Genesis is a toxic blast of fun. Get ready to rock out with Crüe Ball on the Sega Genesis, which was released in December 26, 1992. This isn't your average pinball game. This is a full-throttle, Motley Crue infused adventure. Set to the music of the iconic rock band Motley Crue, Crüe Ball combines classic pinball action with a heavy dose of attitude. 3 of their songs are featured on this game, which are Dr. Feelgood, Livewire, and Home Sweet Home. Bounce your way through wild pinball tables, each designed with unique challenges and insane power-ups. Hit the right targets, trigger multi-ball chaos, and unlock special modes as you fight to keep the band rocking. Get ready for a wild ride of pure chaos. This isn't your grandma's pinball machine, you filthy animals.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
The game plays faster than your last bad decision after 3 shots of tequila. And it's loaded with a killer soundtrack that'll make you want to fist pump so hard you'll throw your shoulder out. We've got Motley Crue's best hits blasting through your skull as you obliterate everything in your path. This table's packed with wild visuals and surprises that'll make you scream like you just found out your ex has been dating your best friend. It's the perfect mix of pinball and rock and roll mayhem. So buckle up, crank the volume to 11, and let's see how much you can survive before it all comes crashing down. Are you ready to hit the flippers and save the band? Screwball is a wild ride you won't want to miss. I actually ended up enjoying Home Alone for the Sega Genesis more than I expected, especially when compared to the NES version. What inspired me to make this video was the unforgettable AVGN episode with Macaulay Culkin as the pizza guy. They played the Sega Genesis version of Home Alone, and to their surprise, it wasn't nearly as bad as they thought it would be. I had always just thought the game was forgettable, poorly executed, but I was definitely wrong. If you get a chance, try the Sega Genesis Home Alone game. You might be pleasantly surprised. It's far from perfect, but it offers a fun, unique twist on the franchise. Did you ever play this Home Alone game? Let me know in the comments. Okay, I'm gonna watch Home Alone 2, but before that, thanks for watching, and remember, gaming is your road to adventure. Take care, folks.